All right, so y'all know I do my research, right? So in the books, a dragon will only bond with one person at a time. As we know, the writer has to die before someone else can try to bond with said dragon. So I keep wondering if that means that the show has killed Laenor off screen, or if the show is not even doing dragon bonds like how the books do it in the first place. So let's talk about it. So I want to thank y'all again for signing up to my Patreon. It really does mean so much and helps support the channel. I already have Patreon exclusive videos up there. I just put up a new one recently, and in it, I'm just talking about why I think it's important for these companies and studios, streaming service, whatever, to just ignore bigoted fans. I'm looking at you, Star Wars, because if they don't ignore them, the franchise's content will be repetitive, stale, and dated. Those bigoted fans will not allow for new and fresh stories. So in my opinion, that's why I feel like you can't listen to them. So yeah, just go to patreon.com/AvatarAdrian if that sounds like something you want to check out, along with the other content I got there. I talked about TV shows y'all might be interested in but haven't heard of, based off of the fact that y'all like what I talk about already on here. So just get into it, check it out. Now let's get into the video, y'all. I am still not over Seasmoke chasing Addam down. I already said in my review video, which you can get to by checking out my description. But yeah, I already said in my review video of this episode that y'all woke Seasmoke out of his sleep to come check out a new potential writer, right? So he gets out of bed, like makes his bed and stuff, like go check, has a bit of coffee, comes up to the meeting table, and it's just like, okay, Targs, what's up? Like, y'all say y'all got a writer for me, like, what's the tea? So then y'all bring Seasmoke a Darkling. Y'all talking about, oh, well, his grandmother's grandma was a Targaryen princess or something like that, trying to offer him up to Seasmoke, like, see, try Sir Stefan. You'll like him, Seasmoke, don't worry. And Seasmoke is just like, wait, so let me get this straight. He barely Targaryen. He not even Velaryon. And on top of that, he's not a fine ass black man. He's not fine black man. Y'all know what my standards are. Y'all know what my standards are. That's what Seasmoke's saying. Why would you ever try me like this? Seasmoke, Dracarys, that ass so quick, and had to get the nasty taste of Sir Stefan Darkling trying to even think that he could get into that saddle. He had to get that nasty taste out of his mouth so badly that he flew across the bay to go find Addam ass. Seasmoke pulled up like, bro, they are playing with me, Addam. Like, Addam, 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 come back. Do you have a moment to, wait, Addam, come back. Do you have a moment, Addam, to talk about our sovereign ruler and savior, Rhaenyra Targaryen, the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms? Do you have a moment to talk with me? I know that this is hard to take in, right? It's hard to take in at one time, but child, I am bored, and they had offered me some white man named Stefan as a writer, so I don't know. That shit was disrespectful. I had to get out of there quick. So what you say, bro? Like, let's go, Addam. All you got to do is hop on. We could go anywhere you want. Just get me out of here, girl. They have really tried me, Mr. Darkling. But it was fun. It was funny. I love seeing the temperaments of the dragons, and Seasmoke's personality just really reminds me so much of Drogon. And I'm not saying that just because like he looks so much like him, right? But just yet the angst and the rebelliousness and him being so headstrong just reminds me of Drogon and all the craziness that Dany had to go through trying to get Drogon to sit his ass down, right? It's just fun. But yeah, let's get into the lore. As far as lore, I have a couple questions in canon and stuff. Because does this mean that Laenor is dead? Because in the books, at least, dragons can't bond. Like I said, dragons can't bond with more than one rider at a time. Like, if in the case of Vhagar, right, going to Aemond, that made sense because Laena had died. So if the show is following book canon, it would mean that Laenor has died off screen, right? And it's just like, if he done died off screen, then I don't know. This is gonna annoy me, and I know that in the books it's not like that. It's not like he goes on to do something crazy. Like, it's kind of the same kind of fate, but it's just like, if they're not following the lore, it would mean that he's still alive out there somewhere, and Seasmoke is just like, girl, fuck him since he left me. I don't know. If they're not following the lore when it comes to dragon bonds, it would explain why George R. R. Martin, the author, of course, recently put up this long blog about a bunch of stuff, but a large portion of it describes how dragons exist and act in his world. And honestly, I took this to imply that he might have some issues with how they're treating dragon bonds and dragons in general in House of the Dragon in the show. Right? So after watching the recent episode, I had to go back and read what he put on his blog. He said, "My dragons are creatures of the sky. They fly and can cross mountains and plains, cover hundreds of miles, but they don't unless their riders take them there. They are not nomadic. During the heyday of Valyria, there were 40 dragon riding families with hundreds of dragons amongst them. But aside from our Targaryens, all of them stayed close to the freehold and the lands of the long summer. From time to time, a dragon rider might visit Volantis or another Valyrian colony, even settle there for a few years, but never permanently. Think about it. If dragons were nomadic, they would have overrun half of Essos, and the Doom would only have killed a few of them. Similarly, the dragons of Westeros seldom wander from Dragonstone. Elsewise, after 300 years, we would have dragons all over the realm, and every noble house would have a few. The 3 wild dragons mentioned in Fire and Blood have lairs on Dragonstone. Keep that in mind, because we're going to talk about that in a second. The rest can be found in the Dragon Pit of King's Landing or in deep caverns under Dragonmount. Luke flies Arax to Storm's End and Jace to Winterfell, yes, but the dragons would not have flown there on their own, save under very special circumstances. You won't find dragons hunting the Riverlands or the Reach or the Vale or roaming the Northlands or the mountains of Dorne. I'm laughing because of what I'm about to say. Remember, Rhaena in the show is all the way in the Vale. And we saw that that dragon is almost certainly sheep stealer at this point, right? We saw that a dragon was burning shit up at the Vale. Now, let me show you what the Vale is here, while Dragonstone is down here. And so, yeah, a dragon could have gotten out there, but George is saying that a dragon wouldn't do so without a rider. So now real quick, I'm going to talk about the book for a second. Nettles was a character in the books that tamed and rode the dragon Sheepstealer, but the character Nettles has been cut. It seems like the character has been cut from the show, and I think they're going to just let Rhaena play that part and tame Sheepstealer. So yeah, George is saying, because we're seeing in the show that a dragon is in the Vale where Rhaena is, and George literally put in his blog, "You won't find dragons hunting the Riverlands or the Reach or the Vale." So he put that up while Rhaena's over here in the Vale seeing a dragon. So I'm just wondering now if we can use that as evidence that the show is not handling dragons, dragon bonds, whatever, dragon behavior in the same way that the book handles it. Right? Because you got a dragon all the way in the Vale. So I'm wondering if this could mean that Laenor is not necessarily dead. Because if the show is not following the rules of dragon behavior, like I said, dragon bonding, dragons, like if they're not following that clearly with Rhaena and other things, that could mean that Laenor is not dead. So yeah, I just really want to know what you guys think about that. Y'all think Laenor is over there somewhere at like at one of the Club Eagles in Essos twirling around with his white twink? Like, you think he over You think he over there at one of them Essos prides, like twirling, you know? Or do you think he's 6 feet under somewhere? Do you think he's roaming around on Jacked near the Dothraki hordes and stuff, trying to see if there's another Khal Drogo out there that can do a little bit of plowing? You think he on Grinder Jacked out there near the Dothraki? Or you think let me stop. Or you think he dead, girl? Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zeraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff, so just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zeraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zeraxia.com, sign up, join the wait list, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.